All right, folks, good evening to you and welcome to the busiest 60 minutes on TV. It's welcome to Journalist Hangout on TVC. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, on the program today, 5 suspected arsonists of Rivers Assembly Complex docked for alleged terrorism, and later on the show we'll share this with you. Afenifere demands establishment of state police just as gunmen killed 30 persons in Plateau State. Now, I'm hanging out with Adewale Adeoye. Wale, I greet you. We are joined by Tunde Abato.
You should be here again.
Yeah, okay then. Now, the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, we start from Port Harcourt, Rivers State. You know, recall that the Rivers State House of Assembly was torched on October 29, 2023. 5 suspected arsonists linked to the crime were arraigned at a high court in Abuja on a 7-count charge bordering on terrorism. The 5 suspects were arraigned before Justice Bolaji Olajuwon. The prosecution alleged that the accused were linked to a former factional speaker of the State Assembly, Edison Ehie, with others still at large. Wale, would we for once begin to punish wrongdoing in our country?
Well, I think for the past few months, Rivers State government has been in the news for the wrong reason. And there have been some kind of astonishing developments. Before the October 30th burning of the State House of Assembly, in the build-up to the election, there were at least 3 instances that either people were, homes were attacked by dynamite, bombs. I remember the former commissioner for water resources, Ugo Jaja, and then the SDP aspirant, his house, was attacked, with dynamite and all. But the most worrisome aspect is to find a situation where acts of terrorism are linked to principal state officials. That becomes state terrorism, which is the worst kind of thing, because the state is supposed to maintain law and order and to prevent, part of the response is to prevent terrorism. And we've seen this clearly because these people that were arrested, they carry out this suspected action, I think October 30th, on a Sunday, on a holy day. It was around 10 p.m. They burnt, the greatest monument of democracy, which is the first thing that the governor of the state should protect. After burning that House of Assembly, nothing happened, at least in terms of the response from the state governor and then some principal officers. Nothing happened. They just allowed it to and surprisingly, they moved in bulldozers and excavators, to bring down the status of democracy. That is, in fact, that is, a classical case of state terrorism, because no matter what, I don't think I've ever read a case where a governor in the quest for power will now go after public institutions to destroy them, built with billions of naira. So that tells you the infinite capacity of certain individuals to commit crime.
Wale, but the governor's excuse was that
infection,
it's
surprising.
Integrity.
That a building so vast like that, you now bring it down because of certain little errors. I mean, it's very ridiculous for anybody to believe that. And one was wondering, what did he do when these acts were carried out, burning and all that kind of thing. Well, what we are looking at is to see a situation where there will be justice for the people of Rivers State, so that these elements will be brought, because terrorism is a very serious offense.
It's a capital offense.
Yeah, you can be sentenced, life imprisonment, if you are found guilty. And I think it's also a lesson for people who allow themselves to be used as pawns in the chess game of anarchy. That at the end of the day, the government, those who send you, will not be there to defend you, because they have arrested ordinary people now, whereas the sponsors may go scot-free. So people should avoid the situation where they are used by politicians, because at the end of the day, they are going to carry the consequences on their shoulders all alone.
Yeah, well, I know that you have not passed moral judgment. No, you're just reacting to...
Yeah, to the judge, the court will decide at the end of the day.
Yeah,
what is the situation.
Tunde, that in a 21st century Nigeria, we can be saddled with things like this. Should boggle the mind?
Well, it will, because one thing that we have to be sure of is that this present crop of politicians, they are what I call political desperados. Like he said, if because of a minor infraction on the course of politics, and you have disagreement, a party chooses to inflict serious injury on an institution of democracy, and the sitting government, under that excuse, the following week went there and pulled down the whole structure. It is for two reasons. Number one, either because the ruling government fears that the House of Assembly is about to be used to remove him from power, or that in the quest, because already as we speak now, a new contract for the building of another House of Assembly will have been awarded by the state government, which means you have done two things. Morally, you have inflicted deep wounds on politics in the state. Secondly, you are going to spend the money bid by the people. So, you see, you begin to ask, what manner of people do we have in government? But you don't blame them. You don't blame what you are expressing now, because in as much as the process of getting elected from the local government to the presidency is fraught with a lot of irregularities, with a lot of corruption and compromising of the political system. You are going to have characters like this in government. And when you have people like this in government, there is no surety that democracy can be served for the people. It is the highest bidder in terms of power, in terms of money, in terms of state coercion of resources for elective officers to have their way all the time. But when they have their way all the time, which means the people and democracy will be the loser. And that is what is happening in Rivers State. Nobody can convince me that at the end of the day, the people have not lost, because it is their money that they will use to reconstruct that place. Remember that those people that were so impeached are about to get back to the place. The commissioners that were sacked, they are about to be reinstated. Same thing we are experiencing in those days.
Begs the question of why was the problem created in the first place?
It was created because of the struggle for power. Struggle for power, in Nigerian democracy of the Fourth Republic, either his sitting governor or his political master who put him there, they are struggling for political space. Then you ask yourself, why is it so early today? The man took office May 29. Problem started exactly 5 months after he took office, between him and his former principal. So they are struggling for sphere of political influence. Like what is happening in the Middle East. People are struggling.
Well, Wale, the 32nd president of America, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, said, if anything happens by accident in politics, know that it was planned that way. So all of these things were planned.
Yeah. And I think,
in your estimation?
Yeah, of course. Planned, by carefully planned and designed, from conception to implementation. Just like my colleague, said, it's all in the quest for power. But I think I see a lot of lack of wisdom in this, because if you are just coming in as a new governor, it's like a plane that is trying to take off. You need to get to the altitude, stabilize. Then you can now decide, the level. The pilot can now begin to relax and. But we are just coming in. I felt there should have been a bit of, patience. Either with people are even trying to dip their hands in your mouth and all that. You need to be patient, at least for the first 1 year. And you must know that politics is give and take. For you to have been brought in as the governor, it's not as if you are the best. People make sacrifices. People bend down so that you can climb on their shoulders. So while coming in there, you need to be able to balance the various contending interests, that brought you to power. So that at the end of the day, it's not that you want to have the 100%. Politics is about negotiation and debating with people, all the other interests that are involved. But if you think you want to have everything, you are going to have crisis for the first 1 year, and your second term will be very difficult to guarantee.
Yeah. Tunde brings to the fore the issue of godfathers. Godfathers abound across the world, but in our country, you get the impression godfathers are substitutes for democracy.
Godfathers exist, and they are relevant in Nigeria because of the pauperization of the political system.
Relevant.
They are relevant. Pauperization in the sense that if I live in Lagos most of my life, I've been in Lagos for the past over 30 years now, and I want to be governor of my state, the only thing I have to do is to have a deep pocket. I will move to my local government, buy all the structures, give them a lot of money. The moment you give them money, maybe if you have two, like in Ogun State, I know they have about 245 wards. If I can buy 240 wards, sponsor their offices, everything, I have become the political officer. The moment I become the governor, I have sponsored myself. I will be interested in who succeeds me. And throughout the 4 years they will be there, they will nurture that political process. When they nurture it, you now pick somebody. Most governors who are wise, politicians who are wise, they don't pick politicians to succeed them. They pick technocrats or civil servants to succeed them.
Who will give them no
trouble.
Who
will not give them any problem. But unfortunately, in River State, this man has gone to pick another person who he perceives will not give him problem. But unfortunately, the man wants to remove the person who puts him there, and that is the owners. So they are, like the governor, former Governor Wiki said, he said it's a struggle for political structure of River State. Then, like he said, you wonder why the new governor is in such a hurry to erase the footprint of his godfather. Is it so easy to erase the footprint of?
Okay, all right. We are joined by Blessing. Blessing is reaching us from Abuja, I think. That's somewhere in Lagos, yeah?
In Ogun State, Abuja Institute.
Okay. Blessing, good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. Go on, Blessing. Okay. All right. Let's quickly take this home. Wale, have you ever considered a jobless politician?
Well, I think there are people who have taken politics as a profession. You know, they think profit is
it's a way of life.
It's a way of life. It's business. And that when you are going to politics, you need to make money. You can't compare such people with politicians like Aminu Kano, you know, politicians like Balarabe Musa.
Oh yeah.
The last time I met him in Kaduna before he died, you know, his doors were open. Meet him and then you see somebody who has a lot of knowledge. You know? And that's why we are saying it's not as if Godfather is bad in the real sense of it, but it is the purpose. You know, Obama, you know, the former governor of Illinois was, you know, they usually refer to him as his godfather, his political mentor. So for me, I would have wished somebody like Awolowo was my godfather. Yes. Because a lot of things for you to learn, they will groom you, make you pass through the rudiments of politics. But in a situation where the godfather wants you to come and settle him it doesn't care about your programs.
That's the environment. Wale, because when you become governor, you can't be your own man. That's where the trouble is.
That's where the trouble is, because the idea of Godfather here is that when you get there, come and settle my pocket. I must determine all your commissioners. You know, you must come and bring me return. Okay. You know, it's not about
so quickly. We have another call from Ikorodu. Isaiah, I hope that's the name. I greet you. Welcome, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Our politicians, they are just like that. My belief is all of them, they are same thing. But you know the end start problem in Lagos. Many people, many damages that happen in Lagos is our money used to repair it later. So these politicians, they are not thinking about us. That's why they are wasting our state money. So I feel that maybe if they are thinking, they are not thinking about their own. They will be thinking about the masses. God will save us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, God will save us today, but we have a lot of work to do.
Well, we have a lot of work in this
because God has given us the brains, but it never intended for us to leave the use of the brains.
Well, because like what you have identified, characters who are not defined, who have no vision for the people, hijack the political process because they have money. In those days, I still tell people that during the Second Republic, you can't even print a poster except you have been nominated by your party. It is your party that will print the posters, that will do the mobilization for you. That is when the party reigns. In those days, when you hear the House of Assembly talk at plenary, the governor will listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
But today, for instance, if Ogun State has 26 members in the House of Assembly, the governor will nominate 24 out of the 26. which means the House of Assembly is in his pocket.
All right.
That is all.
We must stop the politics of Rivers State here and move to another state, Ondo State. Okay. You know, the new governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, was sworn in on December 27,